right, we're live. So can everybody hear me okay now? There should be a little bit of a delay on the stream, but I think that I'm actually live on the stream now. So let me know down in the comment section below, or in the chat box, I should say, if you guys can hear me okay. So I think we're all good there. Yeah, awesome. Very cool. So let's go ahead and get started. So welcome to the DeFi masterclass. So I'm super excited to show you tonight how to, jump on this big trend that's happening in blockchain right now, particularly on the Ethereum platform. What's powering, this big DeFi explosion over the past year. You're going to look behind the scenes at, a real world DeFi app, how to create your own copy of it. You're going to learn what this huge DeFi trend is about yield farming, how it works. How to create your own passive income app that does this, launch it out into the world onto a real blockchain, create a website for it, put it out there live on the web so that your friends can use it, maybe even create your own project. You're going to see how to create your own cryptocurrency and a lot more. All right. So I'm super excited to take you over the shoulder tonight, share my knowledge with you, and get your hands dirty on this real world project here. So we got people in the chat here. We got Joshua, Juan, Eberhit, Jose, Abraham, Dan. Yes, welcome. Somebody says, is this live? Yes, this is definitely live. All right, so let's go ahead and do a couple quick things of housekeeping before we kind of get into the presentation tonight. So the first thing is what we're going to do is basically present everything, on my screen here tonight. And, we've got the chat here in the YouTube chat. So if you're watching the membership program, you're watching on YouTube, try to make sure we keep all the questions in the YouTube live stream. If you're watching this on an embedded page or something like that, you should be able to click the, chat link out, or excuse me, click the YouTube link out to, see it in the native YouTube player, and you should see a live stream chat there. That's what I'm going to look at. It's hard for me to look at YouTube, look at Slack, look at anywhere else that I might be receiving messages. So I'm going to, exclusively focus on the YouTube chat for those. That being said, I will be watching the chat while we do the presentation some, but I'll have a majority of the questions held for the end of the presentation where we'll do an extended Q&A time. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through this. We're going to go through first, the conceptual overview about what you need to understand in order to pull this off, see what this yield farming trend is about, how DeFi works. And then we're going to walk through the technical setup steps. So I provided all the resources linked down below to where you can download those. If you're watching this replay link later, either inside the membership program, or maybe you got an email link afterward. If you just joined the one-time masterclass, you can see all the resources there as well. Okay. So we're going to set all these up. But what I would recommend if you're watching this live is that you just watch it, and not try to code along in real time necessarily, unless you're fast, just because, there's a lot, I would just try to treat this as a cool conceptual overview, and just kind of see how it works tonight. Enjoy the live presentation, talk with one another. We'll do some Q&A time for sure, but it may be challenging to get all the, code set up, live, while I'm doing it. So that being said, there won't be a ton of step-by-step coding in this because I've done a lot of the hard work for you. I'm going to give you a project you can customize for yourself. You don't have to be a super advanced coder or to follow along with this. Try to make this as user-friendly, as beginner-friendly as possible, where you can literally just take this, run it, and set it up and get the benefit of having an app for yourself. And let's say, you do that and you want to hire a coder to help you customize it. There's lots of people in this program who I'm sure would love to help you out. So that being said, last but not least, if you are interested in step-by-step coding program, we do have a discount link down below in the description for the blockchain bootcamp tonight. You can click that down, get 50% off to join. And we also, if you sign up for the one-time masterclass and you want to get part of the membership program where you can get quicker feedback, get all the rest of the master classes that we've done inside this program, stay up to date, all that kind of stuff. You join the Slack channel where you can reach out, ask for help. Then you can reach out and we can get you taken care of. So with all that housekeeping out of the way, let's jump in and get started here. Somebody said, does it make sense to farm on BSC, Binance Smart Chain, because of gas fees? So we're going to talk about how to set up the project on Binance Smart Chain tonight. So I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself here. We're going to set up a DeFi yield farming project and cryptocurrency on Ethereum tonight. but I'm going to leave you with a bonus gift that will show you how to set this up on Binance Smart Chain as well, if that's something that you wanted to do. So we got someone in the chat here that says they just started the boot camp with no coding experience. Awesome. Welcome. So let's jump into this. So also, one last piece of housekeeping. Okay, I try to make this very clear at the beginning of the videos. You always want to check on your legal jurisdiction before you decide to launch a cryptocurrency onto the main network, like actually out there in the real world where it's trading for money. You definitely want to check on that before you do that. This is not legal advice from my opinion, from my perspective, or I'm not like, not telling you to go like put a cryptocurrency on the mainnet if that's something that can get you in trouble in your legal jurisdiction. I absolve myself of any responsibility there, all that type of stuff. I'm going to show you how to do it on a test network tonight. I just want to say clearly in this video, this is for educational purposes only. This code is not like highly audited or anything, so you definitely want to check out all that stuff before you, put it out there for real. And as always, use this information for good. Don't like code a rug pull project and put it out there and try to scam people. So I hate adding all those disclaimers for these videos, but I just have to do it. So yeah, let's jump in. So let's start off with the concepts. And I'll just take a quick second and monitor the chat here, make sure everybody's good. So what are tokens? We are definitely going to get into that. So let's start off with the concepts. So what is DeFi? And these will be review concepts for a lot of people for sure, but I want to just take the conversation down to the beginner level just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So DeFi stands for decentralized finance. So DeFi for short. This is taking existing financial products and moving them over to the blockchain, things like savings, loans, trading. There's lots of different DeFi applications out there. Like Uniswap is a decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. There's lots of other projects that recreate financial products, like Compound Finance is a savings and lending app. So I'll pull it up on my screen here. Here's Uniswap, by the way. This is a decentralized cryptocurrency exchange where you can, trade Ethereum-based tokens. Somebody asked what a token was a second ago, so I'll go ahead and answer that question now. A token is basically a cryptocurrency that runs on a different blockchain. So Ethereum-based tokens are cryptocurrencies that are powered by smart contracts that actually run on top of the Ethereum platform. So if you go trade on Uniswap, you are trading tokens. You can see this list here. This is a test network, so these are all test tokens. But if you look at the live Uniswap network, you'd see a giant list of ERC20 tokens. ERC20 is just a standard that tokens follow. So I don't go on too many tangents here, but you see DeFi apps like this, Uniswap. We also have Compound Finance, which I showed you a second ago. And we're going to come back around to why both these are important in a second. But here's Compound Finance. This is a savings and lending app. It works a lot like a bank, where you can deposit cryptocurrency and earn interest. And of course, I'm connected to a test network here, so these yields don't look very good. But you can deposit cryptocurrency like Ether, for example, and you can see you can earn 24%. Again, this is a test network, so these are not the real percentages. But you can deposit cryptocurrency and then borrow cryptocurrency on the other side. So it works like a bank. You can deposit and earn interest, and you can borrow and pay a fee for doing that as well. So it automates your bank away. Both of these applications are powered by smart contracts on top of the Ethereum network. Again, smart contracts are just programs that developers write and put on the blockchain. And one of the killer use cases for these smart contracts is DeFi. So creating new money tokens. That's what somebody asked a minute ago. What's a token? It's a money that you create and put on the Ethereum blockchain. And then these DeFi apps, the back end part of these apps are smart contracts. They're put on the blockchain, and Compound's set of smart contracts essentially facilitates this savings and lending functionality here. And Uniswap facilitates the swap functionality for the cryptocurrency exchange. So what's one of the big benefits of DeFi? Like, why is this taken off like crazy? Well, from the end users get benefits they can't get somewhere else, like high yields, right? So why would you use blockchain technology in the first place? Well, one of the biggest reasons is that, like I said, you can get things that you can't get somewhere else. One of the big reasons people started using cryptocurrency in the first place is because you could get, returns, financial speculation, basically. You could get higher returns in cryptocurrency markets, typically speaking, than you could somewhere else. Like, you get a 10x return on a cryptocurrency investment, and that's really hard to do for most people in other ways. Sure, you can get lucky in the stock market, all that type of stuff, but cryptocurrencies, where we see things even more than that, like 100x returns. So that's one of the early use cases, but with DeFi, you can get high yields. Okay, so what is yield? Well, yield is basically like percentage return on assets that are basically just parked somewhere. So what I was showing you a second ago is if you look at an app like Compound Finance, okay, and let me just actually change my account to the main network so you can see this. Okay. If you look at Compound Finance, you can see that, well, let's wait for it to load here. Sorry, this is taking a second. When this comes up, you'll see that you can earn really high percentage yield on your crypto assets. So, for me, I get really terrible interest in my bank account, like 0.01% basically. But with DeFi, you can get much higher than that, okay? It might ask me to connect my wallet here. Okay, here we go. So you can see for a stable cryptocurrency like USDC, you can get 6% right now, okay? That's a lot higher than my bank account. There are lots of other DeFi apps that let you get high yields like this. Some as high as like 20, 30, 40%. I mean, some even higher than that, right? But basically, this high yields right here is one of many people like it. They can just take the crypto assets and park them into applications and earn a big cut this way. And there are lots of different applications. There's lots of different ways that users can do this. In most cases, users can do this because they actually help, the applications run. So DeFi, like I said, is decentralized finance. It's a decentralized ecosystem. So when you create an app like this, like Uniswap, for example, Uniswap is a cryptocurrency exchange. And, when people go use Uniswap, there has to be money inside this application whenever you swap. So if you go here and you say like, hey, so let me just click use Uniswap again. I have a cryptocurrency, I want to swap it for a different one. Let's just say I have Ether and I want to swap it for some token. Let's just say the Aave token here. And I say I want to swap one ETH. And it tells me I can get, 7 Aave tokens. If I were going to do this and click swap, which I don't have any cryptocurrency in this wallet, so I can't do it, it actually makes a trade on the back end. But Uniswap is a decentralized application. So where does the cryptocurrency come from that I'm swapping? Okay. If you notice when you go here, there's no like order stick. There's no order book. There's no candlestick charts. There's no other users on the other side, like filling my trades and all that kind of stuff, like a traditional cryptocurrency exchange would, or a centralized cryptocurrency exchange. So how does Uniswap work? Well, basically, Uniswap has users on both sides of the application. The smart contract is just an app coded and put on the blockchain right here. And the end user comes and uses it. They say, I want to swap tokens, but where do those tokens come from? Well, there's users on the other side that provide liquidity to the application. So what does that mean? So it uses something called a liquidity pool, all right? So you have users on the other side that come in and say, hey, I'm going to help make the Uniswap app run. All right. And I'm going to deposit cryptocurrency into this application so that when this person comes in and tries to swap tokens, there's actually tokens inside the application for them to swap with. Okay. I mean, it has to have cryptocurrency inside of it in order for it to work in the first place. That's what gives the app value. So what Uniswap does is it incentivizes people to put money into the app to actually provide this liquidity. Okay. And how does it do this? It incentivizes them with high yields. All right, this is important. High yields. This is one way that yield farming happens. Basically, users need to come use Uniswap. Uniswap says, well, I need cryptocurrency inside my application in order to work. And so let's get people to put cryptocurrency in the application. Well, how do we do that? Well, we incentivize them with high yields. Okay, so I'm just going to pause there for a second. That's a really important point to make. Maybe if you're watching this replay and you want to take a second to let that sink in, that's the important concept to know here. So this is basically how all DeFi apps work, all right? Well, not all. The ones that offer high yields, many of them work this way, where they need to provide some benefit to end user, but they need in a decentralized way to let people, from all over the place, whoever has Ethereum wallets, to come in and actually power the applications. It's users serving other users, essentially what it is. So in Compound Finance's case, for example, let's just pull it back up here. In Compound Finance's case, the value here really is for people to take out loans on the Compound protocol. And anytime they do this, there needs to be funds inside the app for other people to borrow. So how they do that? Well, they incentivize people by giving them high yields here. And then, they pay, a fee to borrow the cryptocurrency. And that's how they have liquidity pools in the back end here. You have high yields, okay? So that's the first thing to understand. Now, the second thing to understand is you can offer yields in the base cryptocurrency that's deposited. So you can see here the DAI token, you can earn 3.5% by putting your DAI into this app. But you can also earn a bonus token on here that can really increase your APY. So this is really important for understanding how our application tonight's going to work. So normally, let's look at a yield farming example. Okay, so let's look at Uniswap. So Uniswap, let's just say that you want to deposit funds in a Uniswap to start earning passive income. Well, basically, let's just say that you have Ether and DAI tokens. So Ether, okay, and then you join, let's do it this way. That font got kind of big. So you have ETH, all right, and you also have DAI. So how it works on Uniswap is you have to supply two cryptocurrencies to the liquidity pool in order for it to work, all right? So let's see. All right, and this is for Uniswap. Let's call it Uniswap liquidity pool here. Okay, so you have to have ETH and DAI in order to provide liquidity on Uniswap. Okay, so you do that, and then you're going to earn some sort of passive income reward here. You're going to earn a percentage on your ETH and DAI paid back to you in the same cryptocurrencies that you deposited. Okay, but here's what some of these early DeFi applications also did. They created a brand new token to incentivize you even further to pay you a brand new token issued by the app. So in the case of Uniswap's case, it was the Uni token, okay? So you would earn this additional passive income reward in a brand new cryptocurrency for doing that. So basically, when you were a liquidity provider on Uniswap, when the Uni token drop happened, you could put ETH and DAI in these pools and earn, passive income reward paid in these cryptocurrencies, but then you get a bonus cryptocurrency, this Uni token that was actually issued by the Uniswap app. And so you just earn all kinds of crazy passive income, okay? So that's how Uniswap rolled out their liquidity mining program for the Uni token. Of course, they also airdropped it, all that kind of stuff, but that's important to understand is you earn passive income in these cryptocurrencies that are brand new one. Now, SushiSwap came onto the scene. All right, you're kind of getting a history of DeFi here, but it's all important because it's related to our project that we're going to show you tonight. So if you look at the SushiSwap project, basically what they did was they took Uniswap and they forked it. So they basically took the Uniswap code and they just copied it and put it onto the blockchain and just made some changes. So that's literally where the SushiSwap project came from. And now I want to show you how their liquidity mining project happens, because this is exactly how the project that we're going to build tonight works. Okay, this is very similar to this. So we're going to look at SushiSwap. So very similarly on SushiSwap, what they would do is basically say, so also the important thing to understand is SushiSwap issued what's called a vampire attack, where they tried to say, we're going to take, we're basically going to get people who joined the Uniswap liquidity pools, and we're going to issue our tokens and try to get them to migrate to our app. So what SushiSwap did was basically they found everyone on Uniswap, and they said, in these pools, basically anybody who is in the, these liquidity pools, there's all kinds of liquidity pools, but just the ETH to DAI one's the one we'll focus on now. Now, everybody who's over here in this Uniswap ETH to DAI pool, what we're going to do is in our SushiSwap app, we're going to basically give you a sushi token, okay? Okay, so if you're in the ETH to DAI liquidity pool on SushiSwap, we're going to issue our brand new SushiSwap token, okay? And that's going to be an incentive for you to use our cryptocurrency and also move over to our app, perform that migration. And so this is exactly how I'm going to show you to create this application tonight. I'm actually going to show you to create a fork of the original SushiSwap project that looks like this, okay? And also we can customize it, theme it to how you can make it look wherever you want to. So this one's really close to the original SushiSwap project, but I'm showing you tonight how you can change the theme and make it look like, however you want to. You can change the colors, change the fonts, you can create your own design, go crazy. But we can you can just set it up out of the box and it'll work as expected without too much work if you just want it to work off the shelf. So how does this project work, and how does it work for actually developers to earn passive income? Well, it creates a way for the end user to earn passive income, because of course they can get passive income for joining a liquidity pool like this. But then they can also, earn this brand new token, this sushi token. So what this app's going to do is anybody who's in these pools, okay, they join this pool and they say, hey, I'm going to take my tokens and I'm going to go put it in your app once I've joined the liquidity pool. We're going to give them brand new sushi tokens, and we're going to issue new sushi tokens every single block. Let's just say we're going to issue 100 sushi tokens every single block, 1,000 sushi tokens every single block, or maybe every 10, 15 seconds, right? Well, anytime you do that, you can take a very small number of these tokens, maybe say like 1% or something, and actually give it back to the team, so the developer of the actual project itself. So basically, we're giving all these tokens away to users who are bootstrapping liquidity into our project, but then we're going to take a really small percentage of these and reward ourselves for creating the application. And that's exactly how you can basically get paid in a passive income way for to develop your own project like this. And this is something that can be applied to many other DeFi projects as well. This is a model that's been used widely by others. And so you're going to see exactly how that works in the application tonight. So that's an overview of exactly what we'll create tonight. We'll actually go through these steps. We'll see it happen in real time. You're going to create your own cryptocurrency, like the sushi token. You can call it whatever you want to here. I'll show you how to change that. You can create your own SushiSwap app. So we're actually going to fork the SushiSwap app and use the master chef contract here. That kind of went off screen here. I won't label the contract here. We'll see it happen in real time. And we'll actually show you how to join a Uniswap pool. Whenever you join the pool, you'll get a liquidity provider token back, an LP token. You'll stake it to the master chef contract. I'll show you how to get this new cryptocurrency and how to issue some to yourself for doing this. Somebody said, I see a lot of projects on Binance Smart Chain giving themselves 10% to a dev wallet. Yes, this does happen. So what we'll create tonight, we will fork the sushi token. So you'll create your own cryptocurrency. We'll fork the Master Chef contract from the Sushi Swap project. We'll create a website like I showed you here. You can skin it, theme it however you want to. We'll deploy it live to a blockchain. And then we'll have some bonus videos for you to watch on how you can deploy it to Binance Smart Chain, and also how to deploy your website live on the web like you see here. So I've included those in bonus videos so that we can keep our presentation nice and brief tonight and have enough time for Q&A. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into setting up the project. So there will be some preliminary steps for sure. This will require you to actually download some code on your computer and install it. Okay, so if you're brand new to coding, this might be the hardest part, to tell you the truth. But then once you get it set up, it shouldn't be too bad. So we definitely need to install some dependencies. So you'll need to open a terminal. You can find a terminal on your computer like this, okay? But the first dependency that you need is Node.js. So if you have a terminal, you can go to your terminal and see, you can type node-v to see if you have Node already installed. So I'm using Node 12.10.0, which is working for me. If you don't have Node already installed, you can go to the Node.js website here and download it. Okay, I would recommend using the exact same version that I am. So the next dependency here is going to be Truffle framework. So Truffle is a framework for creating Ethereum smart contracts. So you can see Truffle here. All right. If you've done any other tutorials on my channel or inside the Blockchain Bootcamp, inside the Mastery Program, you can see Truffle version to see what version you have. So I'm using version 5.1.67. So if you don't see anything here, you can install Truffle like this. So Truffle or NPM. So NPM is a Node package manager. It comes with Node.js. So whenever you downloaded that, then you'll have NPM available. So NPM install Truffle, and you can say at version 5.1.67. Okay, so I've already done this. If you want to do install --g. Okay. So I've already done this. I'm not going to do it, but that's how you install it if you don't have it already. You can, and then once you got that, you've got all the, you've got all the dependencies that you need to get that set up on your local machine. So the next thing that you need is a MetaMask Ethereum wallet. Okay, so you can go to the Google Chrome Web Store and just search for MetaMask. It's pretty simple. I don't need you to walk you through all those setup steps. I imagine most people have already got that set up if they're watching this video by now. But you want to go through the setup steps on Google Chrome, set it up, create an account here. Okay, it's pretty easy to do. Just Google MetaMask, Google Chrome, you'll see it here. So the next thing is we need to actually put our project on a blockchain. So we need to get a connection to an Ethereum node, because that's exactly how we talk to the blockchain in the first place. So Infura is what we're going to use. So Infura is an Ethereum node as a service. So this makes it really easy to get access to Ethereum without having to run our own node. Running your own node is an absolute pain. I've done it many times. It's a real challenge. So yeah, we're going to use Infura. So basically, you can click Get Started for free. All right, and sign up here. Walk through the setup steps. I've already done it. You want to create a new app here. I'm just going to show you my screen. And create a new app. You can call it whatever you want to. We'll go to the settings page here in a minute, because you're going to want to get an access to a link to your Ethereum node. That's how you connect to it. Basically, you give it a link, and you have access to the entire blockchain when you talk to that node. So just keep this open, keep it handy, and you'll see why we need it in a minute. And so, yeah, those are all the main dependencies that we need for now. If we run into anything else, as we continue on our tutorial tonight, then we'll stop and address those, but I believe that's everything that we need to get started. So we're going to walk through some initial setup steps. Once you open this DeFi masterclass folder here, which is included down in the description below, you can download that as a zip file. Go ahead and open it in your terminal. And inside of there, you'll see two different projects. So I've typed LS here in my terminal. That just lists everything in this current directory. So you'll see a back-end project and a front-end project. So we're going to have two projects here. The back-end project will be a truffle project. So again, that's the framework for writing Ethereum smart contracts. We'll use that to write the smart contracts. We'll deploy to the blockchain. We'll set up the token. We'll set up the sushi swap contracts. And then we'll do a separate project for the front end. So the front end is just going to be this website that you see here. It's going to talk to the blockchain with Web3.js. It's going to talk to it. It's going to be written in React.js. We'll see all that here momentarily. But let's go ahead and enter in the backend directory first. We'll say cd backend, okay? Or you can just open the backend directory from your file browser into your terminal that way if you want to. And so what I'm going to do here is do npm install. Okay, this is going to install all the project-specific dependencies. And if you look in your files here, I'm looking at this on GitHub, but this is a private repository you all won't have access to. That's why I gave you the zip file. You can see some basic instructions here. So the first thing is to install the dependencies like this. You, of course, have already installed Truffle. And then we'll finish the other steps here momentarily. Okay, so it's installed. We, of course, see some pretty verbose output here. Some warnings. These aren't actual errors. As long as you see this at the bottom, it has finished successfully. I know this is not ideal, but this is just the state of the libraries in this particular time. So now, let's go ahead and open our text editor. So I'm using Sublime Text. You can use whatever text editor you'd like, but this is going to let us edit the code for the project. All right. So somebody says, I'm going to answer a question really quick that's here in the chat. So it says, can someone just copy others' code and make it his or own solution? Is it all open source? So that's a great question. So you have to check the license agreement. All right. So the original license agreement for, you can actually see it here. Actually, I think it was taken out. Hold on. We'll get back to license agreements later, but basically, the Sushi Swap license says that you can fork it and do whatever you want to. Now, the new license agreement, like for Uniswap version 3, for example, does not let you do that. Okay, so you can't, just because a project's open source doesn't mean you can just fork it legally. The Sushi Swap project is okay. The license agreement says it's fine. Again, if you're really worried about it, always check legal advice, right? Legal counsel. I'm not giving you legal advice. I hereby absolve myself of any responsibility for any projects that anyone happens to launch on the real world. So it says, do we get a replay of this as soon as it's over today? Yes, you will. Somebody says, what's the website needed to download Node? I'll show you. I'll put a link in the chat here. You can also install Node with a package manager like Homebrew or something like that. Okay, so I have this project open inside of my text editor here. Let's take a quick tour of the code. This is a Truffle project, so we see the smart contracts inside of here. All right, we see the sushi token. We'll go over this here in a minute. All right, we've got the Master Chef contract. This is an important contract. All right. Okay. And then we have our truffle-config file, or just truffle.js file. Let's change his name. and it's got our connection to the blockchain wired up in here, also the Binance Smart Chain testnet and the Binance Smart Chain mainnet. These will be useful in the bonus video that will be included in the resources on how to deploy your project to the Binance Smart Chain. So basically what this file does, it just configures your connection to each blockchain. So tonight we're going to use the Rinkeby test network, all right? And then we've got the scripts. This is how you'll actually create it for Binance Smart Chain, which you'll see later when you look at those bonus videos, should you choose to do that. And then also, let's see here, the migrations, which we'll actually use to put the project on the blockchain. And you'll see some steps that we take inside of here to configure the project when we actually migrate it, okay? So somebody is looking for the Node.js version, so let's just look at it real quickly. I'm going to stop and answer a question. So Node 12.10.0. So Node has a previous releases thing. I'm going to put it here in the chat. So this is for DD's asking about this, so I just pasted a link for DD. So somebody says, wouldn't the user want the highest yields? What incentivizes them to use any farm with lower yields? It's a good question. It's sometimes people, the yield that they're getting, you do see liquidity move around quite a bit to chase high yields. Sometimes people want to accumulate more of a specific token. They think that it will appreciate in price. Maybe they want to be the largest person in that pool and get a larger share of the pool, depending on how the liquidity mining works. There's lots of different reasons. So anyways, let's get back into it here. So that's a quick tour of the project code. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to jump back into the project here in a second, but let's do a few preliminary steps. I know we've covered a lot of ground already, but let's go back to our diagram and show you that we need to do some previous setup before we even set up our app. So here's the Sushi Swap app that we're going to create, right? This is basically everything that's in our project. This is all the code we just downloaded, the MasterChef contract. I'm just going to call this MC. So MC for MasterChef. This is a smart contract we see here. This is the sushi token. So I'm just going to connect the dots here. So MasterChef is this. So contracts. MasterChef, that's this. Okay. And then sushi is a cryptocurrency. It's a token. And then sushi token is here. Okay, here's the file for that. These are the two really important contracts in here. And then dev is going to be the address of the developer. So that's going to be your MetaMask address here that we'll use. Okay, so MetaMask address is for dev. Okay. And then all of this is part of our app. Okay, all this is part of our app. Now, Uniswap is already out there in the wild, but it's a part of our app ecosystem. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and join a Uniswap pool, okay, on a test network so that we can actually participate in earning these sushi tokens with our MasterChef contract as part of this app. So we've downloaded this, we're getting it all set up, but now we want to actually go interact with real Uniswap here as a preliminary step for setting up this app so that we can start earning passive income with these sushi tokens when other people use them, all right? So what we're going to do is we need to use Uniswap on the test network. So how do we do that? Well, you can go to the Uniswap interface here, and you can see first, well, here's Uniswap, and I want to join a liquidity pool, but I want to do it on a test network first. So let's walk through the setup steps. Let's go to MetaMask. Let's go to the Rinkeby test network. This is the test network we'll use for our video. But if you're using a brand new wallet, you might see that, hey, I don't have any Ether in here. I don't have any cryptocurrency. So what you're going to do is basically go to something called a faucet. So a faucet's a place where you can get free cryptocurrency on a test network. So it's not cryptocurrency that's worth any money actually out in the real world or on an exchange. So it's just for development purposes. So you can get free cryptocurrency this way. So you can go to faucet.rinkeby.io. Okay. So this is a website where you can get free cryptocurrency, test cryptocurrency. What you have to do is follow these steps here. Basically, you have to get on a social media like Twitter, and then tweet out a tweet that says, like, I'll just show you how it works. Hold on. Click on this. Click on Twitter. Go make a tweet, and it says requesting faucet funds into. Okay, you want to paste in your MetaMask address here. All right, paste it in. All right, I'm not actually going to tweet it. But if I click tweet, what you would do is then go copy the link of the tweet up here. Once you've done it, and then you paste in your address here, and you say, give me Ether. And you could say, like, how much you want to, 3, 8, 7, 18. The more Ether you request, the longer you'll have to wait in between periods where you request it. Okay. I'll probably do 3 to start. And of course, this is an invalid tweet. But if you have a valid tweet, it'll say, awesome, great. I've just given you free Ether. And you'll see it here in your DeFi masterclass wallet on the Rinkeby test network. Okay. So that's the first thing. So remember, if we're going to Uniswap, we need ETH to join the ETH and DAI pool. Okay. So we're going to Uniswap in order to use our app, SushiSwap, on the Rinkeby test network. We need ETH. We just got ETH. Now we need some DAI to join this ETH to DAI pool. So where can we get that? Well, we can also do this from a DAI faucet. Okay, so we just did this from an Ether faucet here at faucet.rinkeby.io. Okay, we just did that. And now we want some DAI so we can join this DAI liquidity pool. So you can go to, let's see here. I just lost my link to this, but it's app. Go to Compound Finance. So literally compound.finance is the URL. Click on app. All right. And then let's see here. Click on DAI. Okay, click withdraw. And you'll see this link at the bottom that says faucet. Okay, click it. And then click confirm. Click view on Etherscan. And then Compound Finance will give you some free DAI. Of course, again, this is fake cryptocurrency. It's not worth anything in the real world. But you'll see here once this transaction gets mined, that boom, we just got 100 DAI tokens for free. So now you can go check that in your wallet. You can look at assets, and I can see I have 190 DAI here. Okay, so I did this before on the same account just to run through the steps before we did it tonight. So I had 100 DAI before and spent 10, but you should see 100 DAI here in your assets, okay? You could always click add token and then paste in this smart contract address if you don't see it and click copy. Go here, assets, click add, click that, all right? So anyways, that's the idea. So now we have ETH and DAI. We have prerequisites for using Uniswap. So how do we enter into a liquidity pool in Uniswap? Well, we go to Uniswap and we go to pool. Okay, so one thing I also need to mention here really quickly, this is important. So Uniswap v3 just launched, okay, like yesterday. And so this does change how our app's going to work a little bit. So we need to, well, they won't really change the app. It's just that whenever you go to this website, you'll be joining Uniswap v3 pool. So you want to go to your URL here and type /v2. Okay, so because you want to use Uniswap version 2 for this demo tonight. You can always update your app to use Uniswap version 3 if you want to, but we're going to stick with Uniswap version 2 because it literally launched yesterday, or Uniswap version 3 did. So anyways, we're going to click this add liquidity button. Okay, and we're going to add ETH, and we're also going to add a second token. And what I would recommend is going to your wallet here in MetaMask, looking at your last transaction. Well, actually, let's just go to your wallet here. Look at this transaction, okay? And copy this. Well, actually, sorry. Go to DAI here. Click on DAI. And here's the DAI contract address, okay? So you'll click on the DAI contract and go back to Uniswap. And then paste in the contract address here. Click DAI. Okay, because we're on the test network, it doesn't have all the tokens listed properly. So you want to paste in the contract. So let's put in, let's just see, so we don't have that much DAI. You have to put in equal amounts. So let's just put in 10 DAI. Or you can put in 50 DAI if you want, it doesn't matter. And it'll portion out an equal share of Ether, because again, you have to put in an equal amount of ETH and DAI. Right now, I'm just going to put in 50 DAI. We just got 100 from the faucet, so I'm going to put 50 in, and it'll automatically calculate how much Ether you need to do. Okay, so I click supply. It'll be a two-step process. I've already approved DAI on this particular app, but you'll probably see a step on your end that says like, hey, approve DAI. That'll be the first step. You want to click it, but I've already done it, so just click confirm supply. Click confirm. Okay. So it's pending. We'll see it confirm whenever it's done. You can watch it in your MetaMask wallet. Okay. All right, it's done. All right, and now we can see here the contract. And we can see our address from us. And now if you look down here, you can see your Uniswap V2 tokens in your wallet. So I've got more tokens inside of here. You'll see DAI, but you'll also see your Uniswap version 2 token. So that's huge. All right, we've just completed a huge prerequisite to creating this application. We have joined a Uniswap pool. That's how you do it. And now we can take that as a part of creating our masterclass here, our masterclass code. So let's go ahead and set that up. All right. So what we're going to do is go to our project here. And we're going to fill out some settings, okay? So we have a file in here called .env.example. So what does this file do? Well, it's where we store all the settings for our application. And in particular, these applications are going to contain sensitive information, okay? So you really don't want to show this information to anybody. You never want to commit it to source or anything like that. You want to make sure that this is all secret information. You can see if you're a developer, we have the .env inside of our gitignore file here. But basically, like you'll see that you're going to put your private keys from MetaMask inside of here. As always, never use a real private key that you're holding significant amount of cryptocurrency in for development purposes. Always keep that separate. But if you need some Ether to deploy a contract, I usually just use one private key at a time for projects like this. You always want to stay safe. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill out this file, okay, line by line with all the settings for our project. So what we need to do is actually create a new file here. So you'll see this is called .env.example. We're going to create a new file here called .env. Okay, so it's called .env.example. This is our template. We're going to create a new file called .env. We're going to fill these out one by one. So your Infura API key basically is going to be, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep mine off screen, okay? So I'm going to put real information in here. And just for best practices, I don't want to show you the information on screen. I'm not using any real sensitive data, but the whole point here is to drive home that you should never show anyone what's inside this file because it's all sensitive data. So first thing is your Infura API key. So we signed up for Infura earlier in the class, all right? So go to your Infura dashboard here, go to your settings, and you'll see a URL. I can't really show you that, like, hold on a second. I mean, it's not a big deal if I show you my Infura, because like if I change this later, like nobody's gonna, I can always delete this project, so I'm just gonna show you anyways. So go to your project, change the network here to Rinkeby, all right, and then just copy this part of the key. So just don't use this key. Everybody's on the honor system, just don't use this key. I mean, I can always delete this app later, and if you guys use it, like, I'll just delete it. But you want to take that and then put it here where it says your Infura API key. So I'm going to do it off screen in my actual .env file. Again, you're looking at .env.example. I just put mine in my actual .env file screen. So the next thing is your private key for your MetaMask wallet. Okay, so you want to go to your MetaMask wallet here, click account details, and then export private key, okay? And then you have to put in your MetaMask password right here. Okay, so I'm not gonna do it because I don't wanna reveal my private key on screen, but you would copy that, you put it back in your project here. Next will be your dev address, which will be your MetaMask address. So copy this, go back here, paste it in your dev address, all right? So LP token address. So what does this mean? Well, again, our SushiSwap is going to track different Uniswap pools, okay? We joined this ETH to DAI pool. Essentially what we want to do is reward people who are in this ETH to DAI pool with SushiSwap tokens. So we joined this, and we want to go find the actual, we want to find the liquidity provider token address, people who join this. So this is an important thing to understand. Whenever we joined this ETH to DAI pool, we gave it our Ether tokens and our DAI tokens, and how Uniswap works is it issues us a brand new token that allows us to claim our initial deposit. So we give Uniswap ETH and DAI, and then it gives us an ETH to DAI pool liquidity token, or liquidity provider token. And you can see that in our wallet here. So if you look at our wallet, you can see this. Uniswap version 2, all right, you can see this token here. So this is an ETH to DAI liquidity provider token. That's what we have in our wallet because we joined this pool. So you can actually copy this contract and put it into your project here. So basically, put it in here. So let me actually check the settings on this. Sorry, let me check my settings. Let me make sure I got the right address here in case I don't want to get messed up. Nope, that looks right to me. Okay, so that's right. And then so next, let's talk about, so allocation point, you can just leave that as 10, that's fine. Tokens per block is going to be how many new tokens are issued every single block. So let's talk about this, okay? This is important thing to understand because whenever Sushi tokens are created, how does it work? Well, the blockchain will actually calculate how many tokens someone can get. Okay, it'll basically just change their balance, their allotted balance based on how much time has passed. So how does let's say how does the blockchain keep track of time? Well, it does it based on blocks. So if you go to Etherscan here, you go to Rinkeby Etherscan, you can see a list of blocks here. So don't forget, a new block is mined about every 15 seconds or so on Ethereum. And so you can see these blocks have numbers, okay? And so that means every roughly 10 to 15 seconds, we're going to issue new tokens or let people have claim over new tokens, okay? So that's what this tokens per block is. It's saying every block will have 100 tokens. You could change this to 1,000 tokens. You could change it to 1,000,000 tokens, or you could just change it to 5 tokens, 1 token, doesn't matter. What we're going to do is have a start block and an end block. So basically, we're going to have we're going to say how long we're going to let this bonus happen for. And that's exactly how we measure time on the blockchain, is with blocks. So you can see here on Etherscan, you can see currently we are at block 8541055. All right. And then, in a few seconds, we'll be at 8541056. Okay. And the block numbers increase one by one here. Again, the blockchain is bundles of records that are contained together, called transactions that are bundled together to create blocks that make up that blockchain. Anytime you do anything on the blockchain, that's where they get stored into blocks. And so you see the blocks increasing here. So what you can do is actually use this cool tool. Let's just go ahead and say we want to go ahead and start now. So we'll just copy the latest block. Okay, we'll go back to our project here, and you can just paste in like this one and then go up by 1 block or something. You could add 1 block, you could have 5 blocks, 10 blocks, whatever. And then for bonus block, what you can do is kind of play around with this. If you go to rinkeby.etherscan.io, okay, then /block/countdown, you can paste in a block here at the end. And let's actually just modify it. Let's just add some blocks here. Say 60. No. Okay, so I put in a block number up here that was a little bit higher. I just changed it. I just upped it. And you can see this countdown timer. So 2 hours, 57 minutes. And you can play with this. You can add like a 2 here. That's in 6 hours. You could add a 6 here, a 6 here. That'd be in 17 days. You could change this whole thing to, 9 or something. That'd be 184 days. So we'll just use that for now as something that's way off in the future. Okay. So you can also do the math. You can calculate how many, blocks are mined every second and just estimate at a future date. You can do the math if you want to get advanced that way, or you can play around the tool like this. So I'll drop this link in the live chat here. You guys can see that. Okay. So now we have a start block and we have an end block. Okay. So now we've got all the secrets for our application. So I've saved mine off screen here. I'm just going to delete this and say don't save. Okay. So now we have our settings filled out. So let's actually deploy our project and put it live on the blockchain. So we have a script that does this for us. Again, we have a connection to our blockchain here inside this truffle-config file, or this truffle.js file. The names have changed over time. So you can see that we have a connection to the Rinkeby network here. All right. And then we have this migrations file here, this deploy file, that actually puts our smart contracts on the blockchain. So what's it going to do? Well, first it's going to deploy our cryptocurrency. So you can see our contracts here. You can see your sushi token here. So this is the cryptocurrency, and you can customize this however you want to. I'll show you how to customize the name and the symbol. So DApp token, let's think of a new cryptocurrency name. So somebody let me know in the chat, what do you want to call this token? Somebody give me an idea. There's a little bit of a delay on the stream, so it might take a second. Somebody says, call it Greg. Safe Moon. Moon mission. I like. Or how about Dog Coin for Dogecoin? Dog Coin or Dog Money. Call it Dog Money. And then DOGG for symbol. How about that? So Dog Money, DOGG. Okay, so this is our new token. So this is how you customize it. You want to change the token name, you put it here. You want to put the symbol, you put it here. Okay. And yeah, it's how it's going to work. We're going to deploy this as American cryptocurrency. And honestly, I don't need to get all in depth on how this cryptocurrency works. There's a lot of extra stuff inside of here that you don't really need to understand. All you really need to understand is how basically how to customize it. You put in your name here, you put your symbol here. Okay. That's the first thing, is to create the token. And the second thing is the master chef contract. Okay, so this is the contract that's going to allow us to track the pools on Uniswap and then create sushi tokens for people who are in these specific pools. So you can actually see here inside of our deployment script, you can see first we deploy the token here. We deploy the token here. And then we deploy the master chef contract. Okay, we change the ownership to the master chef, and then we actually add a very specific liquidity pool. Okay, we'll go over that here in a minute. Okay, but the last thing I want to talk about is actually this ownership of the token. So if you look at the token here, you can see that it has something called ownable. Basically, this is going to give control of the token to a specific account. So in our case, what we're going to do immediately after we put this immediately after we put this token on the network, we're going to give control of it to the master chef contract. So basically what we're going to do, our deployment script, what it's going to do is actually put the sushi token on the network. That's step number one. And then it's going to transfer the ownership of the sushi token to the master chef contract. Because basically what's going to happen is we're going to start off with 0 sushi tokens whenever we go live. And then, we're going to create 100 new tokens every single block. But the master chef contract is actually going to be the one that's responsible for minting those tokens for people who are a part of these liquidity pools and then join the master chef contract. Okay, that's kind of a crazy web here. It's starting to kind of look like spaghetti, but that's the idea. And so you actually see that logic here inside the deployment script. You see step 1, deploy sushi token. All right. Step number 2, you see deploy master chef contract. That's this part right here. Step number 3, we transfer the ownership of the sushi token to master chef. Okay, transfer ownership. And then number 4, we set up this liquidity pool. Okay. This ETH to DAI liquidity pool. We set it up. We tell the master chef contract about it. How does that work? Well, if you look at the master chef code, this is the really important function for you to know about. This is if you're going to watch the replay and say, how do I extend this project? How do I add new pools? Well, this is going to be the major. This is going to be the major function that you call this add function here. So this, where is it? I lost it. Hold on a second. I'll start with the sushi token. Let's look at the MasterChef contract. So this add function right here, this is the function that you use to add new liquidity pools. Okay, so it needs to know about the liquidity provider token. Again, whenever you join a Uniswap pool, you put in 2 cryptocurrencies, you get back a different cryptocurrency that represents your share of that pool. And we need to know about that pool inside of SushiSwap. Okay, so you put your liquidity provider token in here. You can pass some other settings like allocation point. And with update, I wouldn't change those. I would just leave them as they're there in the deployment script. And so you can see, we're reading this liquidity provider token address and allocation point settings from our .env file. Now I'm going to pull up the example file, the actual one, but that's where these settings come into play. We put the settings all in this one file, but then we read those settings inside this initial migration, this deploy migrations file, because you see, like, we put the settings for the pool in here, right? After we deploy the sushi token, we deploy the MasterChef contract with some settings, like we put the dev address in here, right? Because the MasterChef contract wants to know what the dev address is. If you look at MasterChef, it keeps track of, let's see here. It keeps track of dev address. Okay, because you can see whenever they do really important things, it needs to know about the dev address, like whenever it issues tokens, all that kind of stuff. Okay. It needs to know about the tokens per block to know how many new tokens are created. It needs to know about the start and end block for the bonus period. So that's an overview of the back end code. There's a lot more complexity to the code than that for sure, but that's just the really important stuff that you need to know about if you're going to set up your own project. Okay. So now let's actually deploy the project to a blockchain. Once you've set all this stuff up, it becomes really easy. All you have to do, per the instructions here in your README file, after you've done everything, you've gotten all this, you just have to do truffle migrate -- reset -- network Rinkeby. Okay, so I'll put it on my screen here. You'll see this command, truffle migrate -- reset -- network Rinkeby, and that command is in your README file, so you can literally copy and paste it out of there. So let's go ahead and do it. And if you look at the migration script, whenever it's done, it will actually show you the address of your sushi token and also your MasterChef contract. These are really important things for you to keep so that you can put them in your project and customize your project on the front end. Okay, so we'll just wait for this to finish. All right, it's working. So I'll rest a second. Somebody says to add several liquidity provider tokens, you just add each LP address. Yeah, so you would basically call this function multiple times with each LP. I put the settings all in one file to make it easy for everybody. You could just hard code new LP token addresses in here. Of course, you would have to go through the steps of joining those pools, getting the contract addresses. I mean, you wouldn't have to join them first. You could just go find out what the addresses are and then add them here. All right, so we're almost finished. Almost done. All right, we're done. Awesome. So now we have a contract live on the network. Okay. So you can see that we have a contract for the sushi token. Here's the contract address. And then we have a contract for the Master Chef token. Okay. So you'll see some instructions here in the console. Our app has told us, paste this address into contract addresses for sushi, and then paste this address into contract addresses for Master Chef. So what we're going to do is actually take this information and go plug it into our website. Okay. So go back to your code here. And actually, I'm going to open a new tab. And I'm going to go to the client-side application. So I'm going to cd ... front end. I just changed directory to the front-end application. So if you're not comfortable with the terminal, you could open up the front-end folder in your file browser and then, drag it into your terminal. A lot of times that'll just open up the project here. Okay. So for front-end, what we're going to do is now set that up. Okay, so now we've finished the back end. We put the smart contracts on the blockchain, and now we want to do is actually take the front end and put it, get it ready. So we're going to customize it. So you can go to look at the instructions in here for front end. Let's go ahead and install the dependencies. So the front end uses something called Yarn. So Yarn is a lot like NPM. It's just a package manager. It helps you run your application, or it's like Node, I should say, or NPM. So basically, you can do Yarn install. This will install all your dependencies for the project. Okay. So while that's running, I'm going to go ahead and open the front end code in my text editor. So again, this is a brand new project, a different project than one we were in a minute ago. This is not a truffle project. It's just a website project written in React.js. Okay. So basically, what you do inside of here is just like we had a settings file in this backend app, we also have a settings file in the client-side app. So let's go ahead and fill that out. There's a lot of files in here. It's really complicated. You don't actually have to understand everything. I'm just going to show you the important parts that you need to know if you're just trying to set this up. Okay, so what you want to do is go to source. Let's see here. I forget what the file name is sometimes. Let me just find it. So it's source sushi lib constants. Okay. So we've basically just taken the constants from the original project and commented them out, you know what I mean, and just added the new ones in here. It's probably not best practice to just leave old code in the file like this, but I left it in here as an example so that you can see how to add multiple pools. And these are all all the original Sushi Swap pools, okay? So if you want to go reference, see how this works, you can see them down here. But basically, this is what you want to change, okay? So let me just change this really quick. Hold on. So what you'll see inside of here is actually the settings for Rinkeby. and the settings for Binance Smart Chain. So your app may have the settings for Binance Smart Chain uncommented, so I'm going to comment those out. All right, and then I'll actually want to uncomment these lines right here. You just want to make sure all these settings are right and that you're not overriding them. So what you can do is see settings for Rinkeby testnet. All right, you'll see this before uncommented, commented BSC. All right. So you want to make sure your chain ID is 4. That's for the actual Rinkeby test network. And now what you want to do is actually update these settings based on your deployment. Okay. So basically go back to your file here or your terminal and see where it says paste this address into your addresses for sushi token. Well, you want to copy this and then put it in the sushi token here. And then you want to copy this and put it into the master chef. Copy this, put it into master chef. Okay. So now something that's really important that I want to tell you. For the token that you have created in this, we've forked the Sushi Swap project, and we created a new token called, like dog money. All right, so the DOGG is the symbol. But basically, like everything inside the code is still going to be called sushi, even though our coin isn't called sushi. And the whole reason for that is you don't want to change everything in the code. Like the user's not going to see it. Like everything in the code that's called sushi really is about your cryptocurrency, but we changed the name of the cryptocurrency in the settings for the token. But it's like you'll see like sushi here has this address. It's not really sushi, it's your new token. Master Chef is like your contract name, but you'll still keep the address here. So the next thing you need to change is the LP token address. So remember when we went to join the Uniswap, we put in ETH and DAI, and we got back into an LP token. We include that token in our .env file for our backend. Okay, so in your backend, you can go to your .env file. I'm just going to pull up the example. Find your LP token address. Don't actually use this one. Okay, this is important. Use the one from your .env file here. I just don't want to show mine on screen. So copy that and then put it in here. All right, save it. And those are all the settings that you need to fill out, okay? That's really the important part, is you just update the app with your token address, your Master Chef contract address. These are the two contracts you deployed to the blockchain. And then the liquidity provider token of the pool that you joined, okay? And you can add more pools here later. You just copy this and then paste it. You can literally just copy it and then paste it. All right, and that's how you add more pools. So I'm not going to do it for now. I'll go back and revisit adding more pools later. And now let's go ahead and boot the app up. Go to the front end here. Now that the dependencies are installed, and do yarn start. We're using yarn, not npm here. Sorry. Let's just do yes. So let's check on our project here. So it's still starting the development server, so this might take a second for you. Somebody said, so everywhere it says sushi in the code, do we change the name of our token or just in certain places? So I wouldn't change it except for in the name of the token file. So I wouldn't go through your app and rename everything sushi, because your code will probably break. I would leave it sushi underneath the hood. But the important things is you want to rename things that the user sees. So like inside your sushi token, you want to change the name here. I changed mine to dog money and then dog, but I haven't touched anywhere else in the app to rename sushi. I've just kept the naming convention because you want to avoid bugs in your code. All right, so the app is booted up. So let's show you how it works. All right, you want to go unlock your wallet. You can see MetaMask here. Click connect. And now I'm going to show you how to join a pool. So go to LPs here. All right, you can see your favorite LP. You can see one here. This is the DAI ETH LP. This is exactly what I was talking about a minute ago. So the ETH to DAI Uniswap pool. What we're going to say is if you have these tokens, if you join this pool, with this button click, you can join the MasterChef contract that we created and start earning sushi, okay? So click select and then click approve. So you have to approve your tokens before you can send them, all right? Click confirm. Let's see here. So for some reason it's not working. 1 second here. Oh, we have to unlock the wallet. So go to your wallet, click connect. All right, then click approve. Click confirm. This is what kind of computer you need to do all this. Pretty much any computer running Mac, Windows, or Linux made in the last 5 years should work. All right, so it's done. So now we need to do, once you've approved them, we need to actually stake our tokens because that's what you do. You get your LP token back from here and you stake it inside the MasterChef contract, and that's how you start earning tokens. So click plus, and then click max, click confirm, click confirm. And whenever it's confirmed to the blockchain, you'll see your page refresh. All right, there we go. We can see the balance updated here. And now we should start seeing this number change whenever a new block is mined. So I'll wait. There we go. Awesome. We've earned 2,000 DApp tokens. And so you can go to the homepage here, and now you can see your earnings. All right, your rewards per block, 100. Go back to LPs here and click select, and you can click take profit. All right, this will let you actually withdraw your tokens that you created. Okay. And then boom, there you go. Oh, wait for that to finish actually. Hold on. It's pending. Let's see here. Okay, boom, there you go. You can see the token balance just increased. Okay. So boom, that's how the app works. All right. So that's basically it. I mean, you set up an application. I'm gonna show you how to customize the front end here in a second, some more, so you can change how it looks. You can change your name of your project and all that kind of stuff. But that's the core functionality. I mean, you just created an entire DeFi project. You created a cryptocurrency. You created a DeFi smart contract that works just like Sushi Swap. It lets people join liquidity pools. It issues them tokens. You can see new tokens are added here per block. You're staking. You're doing all this stuff that's powering DeFi. You know what I mean? It's pretty crazy that you can do all this stuff with, you know, we've been here a little over an hour. I mean, I've been talking through all this, but if you learned this, I mean, you could do this in 20 minutes. It's pretty crazy. So from here, I'm going to show you to customize this website. We have some bonus videos that are in the description down below that'll show you how to put this project on the live web so that you can actually get a link out and show it to people. I'll show you mine right now. Like, I'll drop a link in the replay. Like, you can put yours out in the wild like this with a host called Fleek. You can also use a custom domain name on Fleek if you want to do that. We're not going to do it tonight for the sake of time. I want to be able to take questions. I also have a bonus video that's going to show you how to put this on Binance Smart Chain. So if you want to do it on the Binance Smart Chain test network or the Binance Smart Chain mainnet, now a lot of people are doing that to test their projects out or launch their projects for just work with the ETH gas fees issue right now. We got a bonus video that shows you how to do that as well. So now let's talk about how to customize your project. So let's start off with adding more pools. So you can see here, you can see the liquidity provider tokens. Yeah, somebody says it seems easy. It is easy. It's easy whenever the hard work has already been done and you can mostly automate the process for somebody else to reproduce. So that was the whole point of the presentation tonight is we've done most of the hard work for you. Then we just show you how to set it up. Okay, so this would take you a long time to build from scratch. It would take you a long time to fork the SushiSwap project and actually customize it to a way where it, would be this easy to reproduce it. But that's part of the values. We've done this. We've set it up. So all you have to do is run some commands and you set up a new project. So let's talk about how to add more pools, because if you're using SushiSwap, you really want to see like 10 pools here, okay, like in production. So you could basically go to the constants here. You can copy this, and let's just add like a few more pools. Click save. Refresh the page. Sorry, wrong page here. Yeah, now you can see like there's more pools. And so you keep extending this, you keep just pasting this down, boom, boom. Okay, you'll see more pools. All right. So that being said, you have to customize each pool. This is just a template for more pools. If you want to customize them, you actually have to find the LP token address for each pool. So if you want to, stake ETH and Link tokens, then you actually need to find the ETH and Link token. Like if you want to do DAI ETH LP, you could do, Link, and you could put like you could put a frog in here, frog emoji, right? You could do, all right. Now you can have a Link ETH LP token here, okay. But you actually have to find the Link token address here. You have to put it in here, and you have to actually go find the Uniswap LP token address and put it here, okay? And that's how you add a new liquidity pool. You need to do that for all these in here, okay? So that we made it easy to, you can just copy and paste this. So the other thing you have to do is you have to add this to your smart contracts. If you're going to do, you need to call the function inside your MasterChef contract to basically add new pools. So there's the add function. So basically you would do the allocation point. We did 10. You want the LP token address for each LP token that you're going to support. So if it's the Link and ETH, like I just showed you a minute ago, you have to find that, call this function, add it here. I do with update just false. So you could do that in your deployment script. You could copy and paste this multiple times. Of course, you want to plan ahead and do this before you deploy the project. If you don't, you can always create a script inside of Truffle like this. So this is a script that gets run on Binance Smart Chain. You could reconfigure this script and create a new file that all it does is create new pools, and you can add it back to your project, and add new pools that way if you want to do that later. So if you add new pools, two-step process. Add it in your smart contracts in the MasterChef, and then add them to your app like this. Okay, just like I showed you. So now let's talk about how to customize the look of the app. So if you want to change the logo, you can look here. Click inspect inside of Chrome. And you can just look for logo. So you can look source, assets, images, logo. You see logo.png. So I would just create a new logo and then drop it in here and save it and click refresh, and you'll see your new logo pop up here. Okay. So anywhere, if you want to change the name up here for DAPU, just search for DAPU. Okay. And then you'll see a bunch of, junk show up here, but in a second, you'll see actual DAPU pop up. Okay. So DAP URLs. Okay. So right here, you'll see it in a couple places. So you can change this to dog money. There you go, dog money. There you go, boom. All right. And then everywhere you see DAP as the token name, let's look for DAP. You're literally just doing find and replace in your code here. You can do a bulk find and replace, but there's probably lots of stuff that you don't actually want to do a bulk on. All right, you can see instances here in different file names. So you can see this like earn, so for DAP. So we'll say like DOGG. Your DAP balance, let's change this, DOGG. And that should be a pretty good start. Yeah, so there you go. Dog money, your dog balance, all that kind of stuff again. So you can also look at other stuff. Like you could change the fonts, you could change the background colors. Another thing is I have included a zip file of this original version 1 UI here. So if you like this theme better, for this Juicy Swap project that we did, we took Sushi Swap, we forked it, we called it Juicy Swap, we put a logo in here. If you like this theme better, I put a zip file down in the resources below where you can use this as your starting theme. You just set it up just like you set this app up, and you can use this version if you like the look of this better. If you like this more bootstrapped kind of blank slate version better, you can do this. Change the colors to white, change it to whatever you want to. But this is the version that we're primarily going with tonight, but you can, of course, just use this light theme. There's a zip file down below that you can use to customize that. So that's pretty much it, everybody. You've learned how to create your own cryptocurrency, how to do DeFi, how to do all this crazy stuff. It wasn't so bad, was it? Right? I hope everybody got a lot out of this. So let's go ahead and jump into a time of questions. I'll try to clear up any confusion that anyone might have. Go ahead and drop them in the chat here. And again, we have a bonus videos on how to deploy this app onto the live web. Okay. So basically, there's a bonus video down below that'll show you how to take this website, take it off your computer, put it onto the live web so you can share the URL like I just shared in the chat here. And then also a bonus video that will show you how to put this on the Binance Smart Chain if you would like to do it on a different Ethereum compatible chain. So that's a good question. So Mike says, I didn't realize you could add new LPs by running a script on the smart contract. I thought that once the smart contract was deployed, it was immutable, but I guess I got that wrong. So that's a great question. So the source code to the smart contract is what's immutable. So if the source code says that you can add new things, then that's okay. It's a contract that you can add new things. In this case, it has a function to add new liquidity pools. So the smart contract stores its state on the blockchain itself. So basically, it says like, hey, you can add new information to the blockchain with this smart contract. here's the liquidity, here's a way to do that. So that's a great question, but you couldn't change that. That's behavior that was created by the developers as part of the contract, but you couldn't change that behavior after the fact. So what are LPs? LPs stands for liquidity providers. So basically, what I'm showing you here, all these people who are powering Uniswap, who are the liquidity providers who are making the app run, they are called liquidity providers. So you get LP, stands for liquidity provider. You get LP tokens whenever you provide liquidity to the app. So when you add ETH to DAI, you add ETH and Link, you add ETH and Uni tokens to the app. You are an LP. You get an LP token. Somebody says, I want to use real money instead of a test net. Yes, you can do that. That's fine. As always, check with your legal jurisdictions about launching a cryptocurrency out onto the mainnet. But the steps are basically the same. You just point your project to the Ethereum mainnet, run your migrations that way. It's going to be expensive. You have to pay some Ether to do this. But that's how it works. The LP tokens would, yes, they would acquire real value. Somebody says, can you explain how you earn passive income by the percentage coin you receive that you created? Will that coin need to be listed on an exchange? So yes, you would basically be receiving passive income every new block when new coins are created, just like I'm showing you here. Yes, that coin gets actual dollar value from the marketplace. So this is a common question that people ask. Where does a cryptocurrency price come from? Well, it comes from cryptocurrency exchanges. What are people willing to pay for that particular cryptocurrency? So the market sets the price. The cool thing about decentralized cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency exchanges is you don't have to wait to get listed on a cryptocurrency exchange. You can actually add your cryptocurrency to Uniswap by being the first liquidity provider. So the step that I showed you earlier, where you go to Uniswap and click add liquidity, you can add ETH and you could add your brand new dog money coin here, or whatever you want to call it, your brand new token. You can be the first liquidity provider, and then people can actually start trading it on Uniswap. And whenever that happens, you will see a price come up, and the market will then value that token based on how it trades. What's the difference between staking and forking? It's a great question. So forking is basically taking a project and cloning it and doing something else with it than what the original creators did. Staking is basically when you take cryptocurrency and you put it, you hand it over to something else that usually generates you some other passive income. People use staking interchangeably for lots of different things. Like there's Ethereum staking, there's staking in DeFi, which is kind of different, but people use the words interchangeably. How much cheaper are the Binance gas fees? Quite a bit cheaper. Of course, Binance Smart Chain does compromise in decentralization. We will have layer 2 scaling solutions on Ethereum very soon. So tokens are representative of a liquidity pool. So LP tokens are represent your participation in a liquidity pool. So that's what I was saying before. Whenever you join the ETH to DAI liquidity pool, you hand over your ETH and your DAI, and you get back a LP token that represents your share of that pool. So when you added your wallet to the front end, it still said my wallet. How can we change that to see our address? Let me see here. So my wallet, it's actually part of the design is to be, for you to click on it and show you what's actually in your wallet. So you could add your account here. You could add it with MetaMask, and you can also click view on Etherscan, and it'll show you. That's also the live Etherscan link you want to change it to Koban. So I still wish I better understood how the price gets determined in the app we just made. Is it dynamic? So the price of the cryptocurrency will be determined by an exchange. So the market sets the price. So basically, you can't really code the price of your cryptocurrency. Basically, when people buy or sell it, they determine what it's worth, and then you'll see the price go up and down depending on the supply and demand. Somebody trying to get in the boot camp channel. So if you're in the Slack channel, ping an admin. So John is an admin. I think you can do @admin. You'll find him, and he will get you into the boot camp channel. So somebody says, I'd like to watch the previous masterclass. Is there a way to membership to join for that? Yes, totally. So you can just reach out to Gregory@dappuniversity.com. My assistant, John, will see that email come in there. Just say that you want to be switched over to the membership program, and he will get you taken care of. But dog has zero fundamentals, for example. Why would anyone trade it? So that's a good question. So like projects like Uniswap and SushiSwap, what they basically created were governance tokens. So it's governance over the protocol itself. So whenever you hold those tokens, you actually get to control decision-making power. So that's part of why people hold coins for new projects. That's one reason. We, of course, saw explosion of activity in DeFi over the last summer, and also happening, pretty much now on Binance Smart Chain, where people are just like holding tokens for speculative value. So that's another use case that people do for. Somebody says, I say ETH gas prices are going to come down. Layer 2 scaling solutions will definitely help that. They won't, like the gas prices on layer 1 will stay high, especially as the price of Ether is climbing. But layer 2 will help it a lot. So yeah, Mike, I think you've pretty much got it. So I'll go ahead and give us a 5-minute warning here, everybody. It's been a great class. So I'll go ahead and take questions for about 5 more minutes, and we'll wrap it up for tonight. Yeah, keep up the good work, Mike. So how to make sure the app is safe. So if you're going to launch your project in the real world, I always recommend that you get an audit. So you want to contact an auditing firm. You can basically tell them it's just a SushiSwap clone, and they'll have a pretty good thing to go off of, and you can just go from there. You could hire a developer to do it. I would recommend getting an actual audit from an auditing firm if you're planning on launching a real cryptocurrency on the wild. Of course, lots of people skip that step when they're just like coding like throwaway projects for DeFi. I mean, lots of DeFi projects hit the market that aren't audited. You just have to be upfront with your users about that if you're going to do it. I don't recommend doing it, but I know people do it anyway. If you do it anyway, just disclose it to your users. I highly recommend getting an audit. Definitely don't code up a scam, rug pull, or anything like that. Somebody says gas prices on Matic are a lot better than buying Smart Chain. You think everybody will move that way? We're seeing a lot of migration towards Matic for sure. What's the best practice for setting the number of tokens for a DeFi exchange? I see Pancake trying to burn so much. Yeah, it's a good question. Somebody says when layer 2 is released, will the code need to be updated like how it's updated to work with Uniswap version 3? So it's a good question. You will need to migrate smart contracts to layer 2. That being said, um, it depends on the scaling solution. So some will be very easy to migrate, like Optimism, for example. ZK-based solutions will not be so easy. Yes, most auditing firms are pricey. But for smaller projects, something that's basically like a Sushi Swap clone, you can probably find stuff that's less high pressure. You know what I mean, to get audited. How can I swap tokens? Do you have a smart contract to do a DEX like Uniswap? So yeah, you can fork. You could fork the Sushi Swap project, do that type of thing. Of course, coded DEX step by step inside the blockchain bootcamp. It works differently from the other DEXs, like the automated market maker DEXs. There's actually an order book inside that program. Says for someone looking to make extra income, would you recommend liquidity pool, flash loan, or arbitrage trading? So that depends on if you have money already, and also your competitiveness with flash loans and arbitrage. The easiest way to do it if you have money, with like no work. When I say easy, I mean just totally passive, no work involved, will be to join a liquidity pool. Because arbitrage and flash loans will require some work. They're not totally passive. You have to like set it up and get it working, and that usually takes some work, and they're competitive for sure. That's the easiest way to do it. Somebody says, so these dApps stay out there indefinitely. Yes, once they're out there, they're out there. Nope, nothing comes around and cleans the environment. Nope, once it's out there forever. So is there a way to audit ourselves? Yeah, you can audit yourself. You can use a static analysis tool to just like go over the code and try to find any like basic stuff. But really what an auditor does is they just try to think like a bad guy and say, how can I hack this? And sometimes that's really hard to see in code that you wrote yourself. And that's why it's good to have second set of eyes, and especially an expert set of eyes who understands security vulnerabilities. So you have to acquire additional skills to be a good auditor. So somebody's doing at admin in the chat here. She'll need to do at admin in the actual Slack channel. Somebody says doing feeless swaps. How would that work? I don't know, to tell you the truth. So we'll be able to watch this video back. Yeah, you'll be able to watch it back. So if you're in the membership program, it'll be in the video vault. If you just join the one-time masterclass, you'll get an email with a replay link. All right, 1 minute warning for questions here, then we'll go ahead and wrap up. All right, everybody, that's all I got for tonight. Let's see here. Well, I got one more question here. So once deployed, can we add more exchanges? Yes, you can. You could add SushiSwap pretty easily because it works just like Uniswap. The bliss of decentralized one, no, they violate something. One rule you didn't know about. Yeah, that's a good question. Some of it's trial and error for sure. But as far as like license agreements and stuff, you always want to check those before you fork a project. All right, buddy. Yep, so that's all. So say next video, can you show lending and borrowing? So we got some videos in the membership program about lending and borrowing. You can go check those out if you're in the membership program. If you're not, you want to get add the membership program, you can just, like I said, reach out and switch over to that. So that's all I got for tonight. As always, I really had a great class, had a great turnout tonight, great questions, all that type of stuff. Like I said, if you're not in the membership program you want to be, you can reach out. We can get you taken care of. If you want the step-by-step coding tutorial on how to become a blockchain developer step-by-step start to finish, there's a discount code down below to join the Blockchain Developer Bootcamp. Show you how to create your own decentralized cryptocurrency exchange, code a cryptocurrency from scratch so that you can actually get, your hands already on the nuts and bolts of this stuff. We just set up a project tonight with a couple